Were you not quite ready for educating your child at home? Thrust into this a bit too quickly? Feeling overwhelmed? Not to worry, we've got you covered. Hello, I'm Samantha from Learning Success, and welcome to Educating at Home, an initiative by Learning Success to help you become the expert educator for your child. It may not feel like it, but research shows that parents can truly be the best educators. We'll be creating new videos every day to make sure you have the knowledge you need to rock this. Make sure to watch them all, and your child is sure to have the best education possible. Today's video is from Lauren Schmitz. Lauren is the blogger behind TheSimpleHomeschooler.com. She has successfully homeschooled her kids for over 3 years, and Lauren is passionate about helping other families get started with homeschooling and encouraging them on their journey. Let's see what Lauren has to say about educating at home.
Hello everybody, my name is Lauren and welcome to my schoolroom. I'm excited to have you guys here and to share 3 homeschooling tips that you can start using today. First though, I want to start with a little word of encouragement because I know we're all needing some right now. I've been homeschooling for 3 years, but when I first started out, I was a lot like you. I was very scared. I thought I was going to ruin my kids' education. I didn't know what I was doing. I thought I was going to be a huge failure. And true story, I started homeschooling in July because I thought that if I failed, then I could still re-enroll my kids in school and no one would have to know that I tried to homeschool and failed. So I was amazed to find out how much fun homeschooling is and what a blessing it was to my family and that normal people can be successful doing it. So I want to share some of that with you today and show you that you can do this too without going crazy, I promise. So let's get going with some tips. So the first thing I want to talk about is what you need to focus on. Tip number 1 is focus on the 3 R's plus 1. We're going to talk about the plus 1 in a minute, but the 3 R's are reading, writing, and arithmetic or math. And those are the 3 things that you want to focus on every day. If you are overwhelmed with everything that you need to do with your kid and wondering, how much do I need to read about history and how many science experiments should I be doing and what about STEM and what about art and I don't know anything about music, I would tell you this is for you. These are the 3 things. Reading, writing, and math are the foundation of education, and they are the things that are on standardized tests. That's what's going to be on the SATs. That's what is going to be measured to decide if your kid is falling behind, is reading, writing, and math. If your kid can learn to communicate clearly with words and numbers, they are on the right track for their education. So if that encourages you and gives you some focus of what you need to be doing every day, the plus 1 though, because enrichment and everything else will be considered enrichment. If you're like, well, what about those? Those are important. Enrichment subjects are, your science, your foreign language, history, those sorts of things, art and music. Those are important, but nobody is expecting you at our current stage in life to be able to cover all of those enrichment subjects. You would be overloaded, you would be, frustrated, overwhelmed, your kid too. So that's where I talk about the plus 1 is talk to your kid and find out what do they love? What are they excited about? What gets them wanting to learn? What do they wish that their teacher would talk more about in school or they had more time for? And focus in on that. Make that your plus 1. And look on, you can't go to the library right now and you may not, want to spend a fortune on Amazon trying to buy things for that, but you can go on YouTube, you can go on Pinterest, you can go on Google, and you can find tons of information about just about anything. I would encourage you to tell your kid, don't time it, don't suck the fun out of it. Don't say, oh, you have to do this for 20 minutes so I can check it off. Let them explore and let them have fun and do it with them. Have them talk about it at the dinner table and discuss what they've learned and what they're excited about. So that's what you want to focus on, and then I hope that narrows everything down for you. Which brings me to my second point. You want to display a clear daily schedule like I have here. A clear daily schedule that has everything that your kid is expected to do to be done with school. When my kids wake up in the morning, they come out and they see what's on their cards that I have on the board. They know what I expect from them and what needs to be done for them to go on and do other things throughout the day, because the whole day shouldn't be devoted to school. There's other things in life. And so if your kid is saying, oh, are we done yet? And the whining and all those kind of things, this is a system that will help take that away. Now, here's an example. Those are a little bit hard to see up there. When your kid sees the subject that needs to be done and they complete it, all they do is turn the card over. Now you can also put something on the fridge and have a list of subjects and they could cross it out, but they need to do something in action to say, I have completed this. And everybody can see it. Everybody in the family can see it. They can see it. Mom can see it. to keep everybody accountable that things are getting done. This will help keep you organized. You mom who can easily forget things, get distracted, run around with other kids, it will keep you organized and on task also. So focus on the 3 R's in your +1. Keep a daily schedule posted so you know all of the subjects that you're supposed to be working on. Now, if you might be thinking, oh, well, that just sounds so easy. We're just going to do these, 3 R's and something in a schedule, and my kid's going to do their work. No, my kid won't do their homework. Why in the world would I get them to do all these stuff on this cards? That's my problem. This is for you. And that's common in homeschooling too, and I understand that. There is a mistake that you could fall into with that is if you don't have a plan in place for how to motivate your kids. A lot of parents tend to fall into a punishment scenario. They don't know what to do, so they react and they say, if you don't do your schoolwork, no screen time today. If you don't do your schoolwork, no ice cream. If you don't do your schoolwork, you can't text your friends today. That kind of thing. And you're trying to punish them in order to motivate them, which is what makes school equivalent to eating vegetables or doing chores. And you don't want to do that. Your kid is never going to bounce down the stairs and say, gosh, I can't wait to start school. I want to learn more about, because they're not going to do that. They've been taught that school is something they do to avoid punishment. And that is not the educational environment that you want to set up for your kid. You want to have something that motivates them, that they're working towards, that they're proud of. Now, teachers across the country do positive incentive rewards program. And if you think back to your elementary school days, you probably remember that there was something in place. I know my 3rd grade teacher, I still remember, Miss Crawford, had these little punch cards. And if you got enough punches, you could go buy something in the school store. When my daughter was in public school kindergarten, she used to get ice cream on Fridays if she did all of her schoolwork. I've seen pizza parties, I've seen dance parties that they've done, all kinds of things to motivate kids and to get them excited to finish their schoolwork and earn something and be proud of it. And that's a good thing. But when you take that sort of idea into homeschooling, I find a lot of people say, oh, that's bribing. You want to bribe your kid to do schoolwork. That's wrong. No, bribing is something completely different. Bribing is your kid is already doing their math homework and then they start to have a fit about it. And you are just, you just want it to end. You're like, please just do these 5 problems. I will give you a lollipop. Just do them. You could have 30 minutes of extra screen time. Just do it. And you're at a state of desperation and the two of you just fall across the finish line kind of in shame when it's over because it was just nothing to be proud of. That's bribing. That's terrible. No, don't do that. I'm talking about an incentive program that is started before your kid ever even attempts their schoolwork. And it's something that they're working towards and something that you both can be proud of and something that motivates them and makes them feel good about their schoolwork and, gives them pride in what they're doing. So what does that look like in the homeschooling setting? When my kids were a little bit younger, we've always done this. They're the treasure box. And on Fridays, if they did all their schoolwork, they got to pick something from the treasure box. It's just cheap toys from Amazon that came from a treasure box thing. Lots of kindergarten classes had them, and my kids loved it. Treasure Box Friday was a big hit. It was a thing. Now they're a little bit older. We've tried a couple different things, but it's easier now. All 3 of them are motivated, so it's easier on me. So on Friday, we have a movie night. We've done that for years, and we also now have a treat box. And so if they do all of their schoolwork and they have a good attitude about it, which is key, just doing your schoolwork and, have a good attitude too, then they get to pick something from the treat box. Which was just restocked. It was very exciting for them to go along with movie night. So it's a big deal for them. I don't usually let them eat this kind of food, and so it really motivates them. Just the other day, one of my kids did not want to do her homework or her math work, and I told her, okay, then you just won't get to pick something from the treat box. That's your choice. And I walked away. It wasn't a big deal. And she thought about it for a minute and was like, oh, I don't want to do that. I do want something from that treat box. I don't want my sister's picking something and I'm not picking something on Friday. So she actually came and found me and said, actually, I would like to start my math homework now, Mom. And I was like, okay. And so she did her math homework. It ended on a great day. There were no issues. And if you had a negative punishment situation, it could end in a lot of anger, frustration, tears. And everybody is just like, oh, this homeschooling thing's not working. You don't want to have that kind of educational environment. You want to have a plan in place for days and times when people just don't feel like doing their work. You want to have something that motivates them and pushes them forward. Okay, so just to recap. Tip number 1, focus on your 3 R's and your kids will be just fine. And definitely add in that +1 to just give them a love for learning and something to really look forward to for school. Tip number 2, always display your schedule every day so your kids know what done looks like and they have something to easily work forward to and everybody can stay on task and organized and motivated. Tip number 3, you got to motivate those kids. Find out what motivates them and help them work towards it, whether it's more screen time, whether it's a treat at the end of the day or the end of the week. If it's, I don't know, ask them. There are so many different things that motivate kids. You might be surprised what they will say. Now, they might ask for the moon. You might have to bring them back to reality. But, ask them, like, I want to reward you. I want to honor your work. What do you want? What would be exciting for you? And have something in place and let them work towards it and be proud of it. All right, those are my 3 tips for success in homeschooling. You are going to be just fine. You have got this. So happy homeschooling and stay safe.
Thank you, Lauren, for the tips and for the words of encouragement. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to share it on social media. Use the hashtag EAH for Educating at Home. And remember, you've got this. The fact that you are here watching this video means you're an amazing parent. And that's a wonderful thing to be.